What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. We got you guys piling into the room. We've got a special guest for you hopping on here as well, who would normally typically do this time slot. And for everybody in free week that's just not familiar, usually every other Friday we'll do like a beginner Friday. We slow it down a little bit. So I know we try to slow it down for free week in general, just to answer as many questions as possible. But we have Stephen King with us, who's an outstanding trader, outstanding coach, mentor. So definitely want to introduce you guys to the community before the end of the week as well. So Stephen, are you able to hear me?
I am. Yeah. Hey, everyone. Thank you for being here. Hey, I was supposed to open the room this morning and be on with you from 9 to 11. And like Dan said, Fridays, certain Fridays of the month, we really slow things down for new traders. That's my main focus, is helping new and developing traders. Unfortunately, I'm having a little bit of some technical issues this morning with my computer. I didn't want to risk the stream dropping during the 2 hours I was supposed to be on. So I'm going to let Dan take it this morning. That's going to give me time to correct the issue I'm having on my end. But I will be back this afternoon, 4 to 5 p.m. I do a session where we analyze price action and volume. Really helpful for anybody who's new to trading, just to be able to learn how to determine the sentiment of certain candles and the price action and volume. So hope that all of you will be here this afternoon, 4 to 5, and I will be back then. Dan, it's all you. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you helping me out.
Awesome, appreciate it. Yeah, and just to reiterate, if you guys have not seen, I mean, some of you guys, I mean, Jeffrey's already like, hey, good to hear your voice. If you guys are not familiar with Stephen King and have not been through one of his sessions, one of his classes, I mean, this is free week. You get it absolutely free. Phenomenal analysis, phenomenal trade strategy. I can guarantee you guys learn something. So that will be later on today when Stephen King comes back. So make sure you guys are here for that. And during today, I mean, we only have one day left of free week, but during today, any of the live trading sessions, any of the classes, take advantage of it. Ask as many questions as humanly possible. Whatever you're confused about in the market, let us know. We'll be happy to answer it. And like I said, on Fridays, every other Friday, we do beginner Friday. So the intent of it is to kind of slow it down and realistically answer as many questions to help you guys out as possible. We do that every single week or every other Friday in real life trading as well. So good morning to all you guys out there, all the party people ready to rock that has been consistently coming here, enjoying the week. We got so many people. I don't even know. I mean, usually by the time I go through it, like, you guys are still piling in. Now we got a massive crowd. So just welcome to all you guys. And I don't want to eat up some more time, but yeah, we got a lot of earnings, a lot to talk about, a lot of news. So let's take a look real quick at the SPY. We do have a little bit of a gap up, but it's been some rocky hour after hour sessions. We've been back and forth. Let's see where we are at just on a smaller time frame. And if you look at the futures, I mean, the futures were going kind of crazy last night, then they dropped hard. And I believe we had some news coming out. I don't know if it was employment numbers, but I was away, didn't get to check it out. But there was some data that came out this morning, and markets are off to a little bit of a rough, shaky, choppy start. So we'll have to take a look at that just to see how this market does want to hold up. For right now, on developing VPOCs, I mean, pre-market volume is going to be a little different. So we're going to have to see where this thing actually closes for the end of the day. We'll have to watch this, but we are gapping up a little bit from on VPOC, so volume area, which essentially means that the market and people buying the market is deeming it as a little bit more valuable than it was yesterday. So there's a little bit more bullish sentiment. We also did have this gap up. This came back fully retested. We are holding a good support somewhere right around 448.88. So you're going to want to see that hold throughout the day if we are going to remain bullish. Otherwise, we probably do get a steeper sell-off if that starts to break for us. And then, like I said, today's VPOC is 449.85 right now. That's developing VPOC. That is subject to change for sure. And then I got a bigger spot here around 450.28. So if we could really hold this 450.28, that would be fantastic for us to start to really push bullish today. 451.37 is where I'm looking for this thing to break, and we'll see if we can get that range. But that's going to be our range for today. Whether we stay inside of that or not is unforeseen, and we'll see if we have any luck. The Qs themselves, they are relatively flat in terms of volume, but same sort of picture. So we do have that little bit of a gap up. We did create a little bit of a lower high. We started tanking right into that support zone. We tried to break it, we held it, and we did push off of it. So right now we are at resistance. If we could get a little bit higher, and I'd really be looking for about 376.36, that to me would tell us, all right, we're pretty safe in the bullish area. Otherwise, if this is the range that we're in, you're probably looking to not buy at the high of the range. You're probably looking to not go short at the low of the range until it's broken. And until that point, risk to reward will become sell high, buy low, short high, buy as low as you could. And we'll see if we remain in this range. We do have some options that do expire today. I don't think it's going to be anything too crazy, abnormal. It's not like quad witching day, anything like that. So we'll see how this market wants to break down. You guys already got some tickers in here. I was asking, do you think the third rule holds today? Oh, the 3-day rule. 3-day rule. What is the 3-day rule? I've heard 3-day rule from, if Jim Cramer says anything, don't buy anything for 3 days. I've heard multiple aspects of 3 days down. You're gonna have to explain that one a little bit further. Because I've also seen 4 days down, I've seen 5 days down, I've seen 27 days up very, very recently. All right, let me see. There was a couple tickers in here. Let me just scroll back. DJ's okay too. I agree with the sentiment, and I do appreciate the enthusiasm. That's cool. All right, so we got DraftKings. DraftKings did report earnings last night, and they did beat. So we have good earnings. They were up. Surprise beat by 7 cents. So they were positive 7 cents. It's about a 30% upside surprise. And we did beat. This is the bigger one. 110. So we got $110 million higher in revenue. So pretty positive results on DraftKings in terms of earnings. And I think the conference call is going to weigh a lot more on the movement of the stock. So the conference call, which the CEO, I think his name is Jason Robbins, but he is he's extremely bullish, which is kind of what you want in your CEO, not to a fairy tale land, like everything is always good and positive. But a few things that he did say on the call was that the older states, because keep in mind, I mean, DraftKings has a hurdle being not only, I mean, they've been around for a while, but newer industry compared to others in terms of legalization, where only some states get approved and then some more states get approved. And I've been saying this for a while. They've been going aggressively into the markets that have opened up. So the markets that have been legalizing, DraftKings is making sure that they're on the list. People know who they are. They do spend an absolute ton of money on marketing, promotions, things like that. So what he said on the call was, number one, we've cut back a lot of the promotions in existing states, and the old states that they've already had is more than enough money to cover the new states that is opening up for them. So again, is this going to be in $100 stock today? Probably not, but the sentiment is good for a longer term basis. That being said, so we do have a little bit of a gap and go. We've had a run up into this gap and go, and we're still in a market where I think a lot of rallies get sold off and people take profits. And if we weren't in that type of market, I think this one has the ability to run. I think it still does. Maybe we could get to $35, $36 today. I'd be looking for somewhere in like first little resistance, probably about 34.72, and then we'll see if we can make it up to about $36. So somewhere in that would be the range for today. I think that's where DraftKings can run to. However, I can't ignore that we did buy into this, and also the market condition right now, I think overall is still kind of a little iffy, and maybe we're not buying as furious. If this report came out probably last quarter, this thing would be absolutely tearing it up. But I mean, I can't ignore that they already kind of did tear it up last quarter too. So there is now a lot of people profitable. This thing hung out, nice double bottom on a daily, and it is a gap and go. I would be looking only probably bullish today on DraftKings. I don't want to play this thing short. I think it has about a 5% short flow too. So some shorts could continue to get squeezed on DraftKings. And I don't want to step in the way of the squeeze. I'd rather ride the momentum. So if this thing does pull back a little bit, why can't I get TradingView all week has been like kind of almost responsive. And that's it's the effort that counts. Let me see if I can't even get this thing scrolled up. All right. We'll just have DraftKings on the list. No, I'm pretty determined, actually. I'm pretty determined to get this one higher on the list. Okay, it did move. All right. Oof, DraftKings. All right. Amazon also reported, so they crushed earnings as well. This is another one, but this is going to be at least DraftKings is smaller name, I guess, at least in terms of revenue. So they're not as large as Amazon. A lot of these bigger tech companies, we've definitely seen sell the rips. This one is pushing into a high volume area, so could get a little bit higher, maybe about 140, 160, something like that. But we're kind of in that high zone right now. So I would actually love to see this one go up a little bit at open with some excitement. And I think this is one that I would be okay playing the fade if I had to. This is also a retest gap. So, and some of the bigger giants have been selling off, but earnings report was fairly decent on Amazon, by the way. I don't have the extremely big mouse on, but I did increase it a little bit. So I hope you guys can see the cursor a little bit. We got surprise beat, 29 cents in the positive. That's an 83% upside. So that crushed expectations. And then we do have surprise beat of $2.8 billion, a 2.2% surprise beat to the upside. So again, positive news on earnings, but we've seen positive news sell off, aka AMD. All right, so we can't forget that. And I wouldn't mind attempting to short this one down. If this one does short, the question is, the real question is, why is TradingView not moving my tickers? I think I know why. I think it's because I just leave TradingView open all week. Like I never close it down and restart it. That's probably it. But we do have a lot of room in Amazon for this fade for the drop. I'd probably be looking for about 134.22. If this thing wants to sell off, obviously there's probably going to be a little bit of support coming in, maybe prior to it, 135.35. But as we approach a little bit higher, we're hitting more and more resistance on this thing. So a fade would make sense on Amazon for me. And then FNKO. Funko. Do they make those little like toy action figure doll things? Is that Funko? I didn't even know they were. If that's them, I didn't know they were even traded. That's crazy. But apparently nobody's buying Funkos anymore. Nobody likes them. You have a little bit of support down here, so this is going to be targets probably somewhere in the 625 zone. So you have a little bit more room to the downside. Otherwise, this gap is Funko. Is that them? Is that the little stupid looking dolls that they collected for like a day? Or maybe they were a wild sensation that swept the nation. I'm not sure. This one does look pretty awful to the downside. So any type of bounce in this one, this is also a gap and go. Any green candle on Funko would probably be your way to push this one to the downside. So they did report. They surprised their estimates. I wouldn't be surprised if they're who I think they are. I thought they'd be a zero. I didn't even know they traded, but they missed their estimates by 1 penny, so 4% to the downside. And then they did also drop 10 million in revenue. I can't believe they did 1 million in revenue, but they missed it by 10 million. And again, probably some kind of support somewhere around the 625. So if you're going to short it, I would expect lighter volume on this one. I've never traded this ticker, so I have no idea how this one does trade. And it is a little bit lower to the price wise, not below $5, so it is tradable. For me, part of my plan. Rob says Amazon gapped up. It's huge. It's the hugest stock in the world. Jeffrey, only two stocks I'll trade today are Apple and Amazon. Great gaps. AAPL. So we'll check that one out. Yep. So Apple actually, again, good earnings. Surprise to the upside, 6 cents. Their earnings were fairly good, but you have to be priced for perfection for this thing to really carry home. We increased by $1 trillion this year. So if you're an investor, again, you're looking for profits. If you're an investor, you're looking for how much can a company grow, and once you hit a $3 trillion valuation, you're looking for, I guess, a $4 trillion valuation. I guess you're going to be paying a lot of money if you're investing in Apple today. I do own Apple shares. I'm not selling my shares. That's in the long-term account. I'll continue just to get some divvies, enjoy the probably pullback to lose any of those gains, but then could dollar cost average lower. I'm not afraid of Apple. I'm not going to invest at these prices. And I think a lot of the selling after good earnings is probably that same sentiment. Do you really want to throw your money in at all-time highs on enormous valuations that you're like, well, honestly, DraftKings is probably a better longer-term investment than Apple at this point, just because at least it's got a good growth potential. You have a better shot, but if you're looking for safe money, Apple would be a little bit less risky than DraftKings, probably longer term. We'll see. But yep, big major gap down. This one we're at a little bit of support. I don't like that we're starting to break some of these moving averages. But if I think this one could look for maybe a fade higher. We'll see. Again, even at 185, I think the valuation on this thing is still a little nutty. And I wouldn't want to, for a long-term perspective, I wouldn't want to trade this one. Obviously, 1, 2, 3 days down in a row. And now you got a fairly big gap. First target on it would be probably about 187.63. If we could break through that, I'd be looking into like the 190 maybe. So I think we have some room to the upside, plenty of room to the downside as well. But if we get one or two red candles and we could try to play this fade, I think this one could be fade worthy. Rock's in the house. Rock feeling good with the DraftKings today. We got Stacy. I'm with the Jeff looking at those as well. Adam says same here. Jeff and Stacy, DraftKings, Amazon, Funko are the top 3 right now. Maybe Apple. Lucian's in the house. Surge says ADP. I don't know if you're looking for the ADP company or that's the report that we had today. Automatic data processing. Let's see. Let's see if TradingView wants to give me a pre-market price on this one. I thought it was a 3-date rule. That's a different chat room. That's a different chat room, Win. You might have clicked the wrong dashboard today. A little bit of a gap and go on ADP. You do have plenty of room on this one. Still technically inside day. We're just hanging out at the low. So I would like to see something try to run up into like this 247.36. Maybe we get to 247.69. Just kind of consolidating here. You are going to have to run into the 10 EMA, 245.47. But if that breaks, there's nothing really stopping you. First little spot would probably be 243.91, just the bottom of that candle. Otherwise, this retest gap, at least in the near future, 240.58 would be targets. Again, that would be a massive day for ADP. So I would suspect that 10 EMA is going to have a little bit of strength on it. Is that a band? Funko? Yeah, you never heard the sweet sounds of Funko? Oh, three days down? No, that's 3 Dog Night, I think. There was 3 Dog Night, and there's also 3 Doors Down. Yep, there you go. We got Wayne says at Rock gets a new yacht. I know, but the problem is parking. He's already got 2 other yachts. It's tough to fit into the docks. Leaning towards taking position on open for DraftKings with tight stops and move fast. You could. We have 9 minutes till market opens in about 3. Let's start looking at some of those pre-markets, both on Amazon, Apple, and DraftKings. And we could even look at Funko. You guys really, really on the Funko train today. You guys are in Funko town. So we'll see what happens there. We got Apple with the gap. Yep, we took a look at. Maybe it's related to It's Smacky the Frog. Smokey the Frog. He's different. That's his cousin, but they don't really talk. I followed Funko. It has really low volume. I would imagine it does. Just said I made that mistake. I'm lost on that comment. Rock says, yeah, it is. Tesla. So we can look at Tessie, TSLA. Of course. Thy Kingdom Outreach says completed the advanced classes on reallifetraining.com. Man, that's music to my ears. It's not as good as Funko music, but it's still pretty good. I like it. Congratulations to you. So Tesla is gapping up a little bit. This should be a retest gap after that type of buying. So again, I don't know if this is going to be shortable. You are at some kind of resistance. This one I think comes down first. So whether again you want to play this thing short at the open, see if you can get a pullback, maybe into this 259.13. We're still in a sell environment. That's a beautiful looking high wave indecision candle. It was an okay close, not the best. We had a little bit of a bull trap coming out of it. We closed back inside of that candle. But today we are gapping out. So into a little bit of resistance with some moving averages that have been an absolute struggle bus for Tesla. Every time we've hit that 10, we have been essentially rejected. So I would think that there's probably somebody that wants to take profit at open on this one. It comes down for a retest. Whether it bounces from that retest or not, I don't know. Otherwise, if it doesn't bounce toward the top of this candle, somewhere in 259.26, I can see it coming all the way down to 255.93. So you're going to have some room to the short side if you're going to play that. If we start breaking, I'd say about 261.82, somewhere in that zone, and we get a couple candles that close, it's got potential for a runner. But Friday before a 2-day weekend, coming into some moving averages that have been very, very tough. I don't know if today we're going to get that momentum from the bulls, especially if the bulls are kind of a little bit leery to throw money into the market. I think at this point, we got Google. We'll wait for the price to come in. We'll check that one out. Kevin Stone says, have we looked at net yet? Nope, but they did report earnings, and I think they were trending last night as well. So we'll take a look at that right after Google. We still got 7 minutes, so we're looking good. We got a little bit of resistance on the Googs. I would put that resistance somewhere around 129.49, so 129.50 psychological hold number as well. And then if we could get a break on that, I think we're looking at 131.80, and we do have some room to the upside. Can't ignore that this is technically a retest gap. See if we get a little pullback. Look for some kind of stability at 128.66. If we're getting a bounce off there, I'm with you. I think that's a good risk reward. So I would love to see a little pullback on Googs. I'm going to try to attempt to move this thing up higher. I don't know if it's going to work, but we'll see. I don't know. I don't think it did. But yep, stops would be somewhere below probably 127.77. So definitely one to watch. My entire watch list is all messed up because nothing's moving on it, but that's cool. Well, we'll take the punches how they come. We got Cloudflare. So they did report earnings yesterday or last night. They had a positive beat of 2 cents. I guess they were expecting. Was it a loss? I mean, that seems wide. That's 33% to the upside on earnings per share. That's pretty impressive. And then you do have a surprise beat of 2.92 million to the upside, so just under 1%. This is a huge, huge gap into resistance. I kind of like net for the fade. The only other thing on this one is I don't know what their short float is, but I think this one fades lower at this level. Come on, Net. Get up there. Get up there, buddy. You can do it. Okay. Give it to me. Come on. No. I tried. Let me just see real quick the short float on FinViz. I don't know if they have a high short float. Let me see. Yeah, 6%. It's not an overwhelming one, but it's decent. I still think that this is going to be some type of resistance. We are closing that. There was a slight, tiny gap, and we are closing that now. So also it's up $7.46. Net, I would probably look for a fade. Let me get net on TOS. Let me actually get the ones that we're looking for on TOS. Let's do Airbnb did report. No, I guess nobody wants to talk about Airbnb. That's cool, I guess. Let me take so we got Amazon up there. Let's put Apple up there, AAPL, just to prepare. We got 4 more minutes left. Let me see what else we got. Play that Funko music, right, boy? There's like 3 out of 5 words correct of that song, but that's okay. They all sound the same though. Last day of free week, soak it up, noobs. That's a brutal celebration, I think. All right, we got Kevin Stone says when they're too young to know that song. I don't think Win knows that song. No, there's no correct words there. We got Cindy says Fox News had Donny Osmond on it for Friday concert series. Haha, I didn't know he was even still performing. No, you get Donny Osmond. That means we're bullish today. Donny Osmond's clearly he's bullish. That's a bullish signal. So sometimes sometimes technicals don't matter. Just Donny Osmond. That's the only one that really matters. We got Roblox. Let's see where this one wants to come in pre-market. Doesn't look like, is it doing something crazy? Am I missing something? Oh, there we go. A little bit of a gap. It wasn't even showing. I don't know why it's so delayed. A little bit of a gap up. Pretty decent. I would think this one actually could run a little bit higher. 38.64 would be target. At least first target. Second target would take you to about 38.97. So we'll see. Ron wants to take a look at CNK. What do we got? 2 minutes left. All right, I'm gonna try. I don't know if we're gonna get to the looking at some of those pre-market support levels. We'll see though. Cinemark. Cinemark Holdings. There we go. Nice little gap up. You do have 1, 2, 3 days in a row. So targets on this one, if you go higher, I think resistance starts to pile in around 18.37 and then 18.45. So it's going to give you about 40 cents. Cinemark probably does have a little bit higher of a short float. So maybe could get some continuation, but until we start really breaking out of, I think, 18.54, some of the bears might be holding on to their hopes and dreams. Donnie Murray is still one of the biggest selling Vegas shows. That is kind of wild. That's kind of wild. What is the average age range of Vegas visitors? That's the question. All right, we got Microsoft. We'll see how they're coming in. What do I got? I got 40 seconds. The last 2 minutes always go so fast. All right, so nice little gap up there. Again, this one's going to hit a little resistance probably. So this is technically the retest gap. Look for the fade. I don't know if you guys want to fade that one at open. It could get stalled out at 330.80. If not, a really nice bounce spot on this one with good risk reward be 327.96. Otherwise, you will start piling into resistance 334.24. I got 16 seconds left. 6% short float on Netflix. CNK. Donnie's about as effective as the moon phase. Don't knock the moon phase, but we got through everything. PayPal is gapping. PayPal's gapping down. Square is definitely gapping down on earnings. But that's the morning bell. Everybody out there, YouTube land, you guys are absolutely incredible. Appreciate you guys joining us. There's still time. I mean, there's one more day left for free week. So make sure you guys, head to Real Life Trading, click the banner. You guys do have one more opportunity to hang out with us all day if you have not done so already. But otherwise, I got to cut the YouTube stream. You guys are incredible. Catch you guys all on Monday. Take it easy. All right. So I don't think I slowed that down for a beginner week at all. My bad. I just realized beginner week. But, just don't. Out there grinding. All right, let's see if we could get the screens up. PayPal with a little bit of a gap down. Is it? I see PayPal up 67 cents today. I think you have to refresh your chart maybe. Let's see. Net is starting to move again. I'm looking for some pre-market breaks. Again, Tesla could be bullish. I wouldn't mind going bullish. But the only problem is you're gonna have those moving averages. Apple's throwing in a little bit of a haymaker, so we got 185.70 on Apple. We'll see if we want to play this fade bullish. 187 point. What do we say? 50. I'm gonna be probably slow on this one again all week. 185.67. 67. I'm going to throw my stops in at 183.20. Some of it's me being slow, and then some of it is the market just doesn't close the way I want it to. My personal day trade, AAPL, 187. Nope, 185. My bad. 185.67 by 183.20. I'm gonna try it. We'll see. DraftKings rich. Is that the new term? I kind of love it. Kind of love it. All right, official day trade. We'll see if we get this in here. If I'm quick enough. Don't think so. Not usually. Apple. All right, buy some shares. 67, 67. All right, got the order out there. Market actually let me get into something that makes me more terrified than if they didn't, but we'll see. So I got that order out there. We got Amazon. Amazon again could be coming in for a little bit of a fade on good earnings. We got a little blow off top. I guess I'm gonna have to go below that green candle. That seems like a trap. I'd rather take the green candle now. 140.43. 140.43. SPY looks a little bit to the bullish side. I gotta throw my stop up here. This 142.05. Should be a big enough range. My personal day trade, AMZN. I gotta wait for this candle to close. I refuse to get this order in the broker if it doesn't. 140.43, 142.05. If this candle closes the way it does. Paste. AMZN. Sell shorts. Up limit 140.43. 140.43. Preview order. Let me throw this in Slack. If this candle closes green only. All right, so we'll see. Adam says my stop might be too tight. Better than 3 cents though. Yeah, I mean, you can't get much tighter than 3 cents. The only way to do that would be 2 cents and 1 cent, and otherwise, it's legitimately impossible to trade it. You got 140.20 now, so we're gonna have to change this order. So before we do it, make sure we update the shares. And again, I don't even know if this candle is going to be closing green or not, and it might be an issue as to why I can't get in the trade at all. And I'm cool with that too. Yes, we still do 140.20. This is the update. You're probably playing the current candle. I bet you. Bet you that's what you're doing. Pastes. If candle closes green, let me update the amount of shares. And the entry. So this is 20. 20. Got filled on the apps, it looks like. I don't know what to target on Apple. Maybe we should go with the 1.2, 188.63. Let's try to see if we can stack some gains. All right, so Amazon did close. I'm going to look to take that one as well. I got that order out there too. Let me throw target for Apple. AAPL is filled. And target is 188.63. Let's see if we could hit that. Now let's see what Amazon wants to do. I didn't put this in the chat, but there it is. Amazon could end up being like Google after earnings. Big choppy nothing burger. As long as it doesn't chop out my stop, I think I'll be okay. Net looks like it could be a potential decent short as well. Alex got skipped. Regular broker using ACAP? ACAP, we would have got filled before the market opened, probably. Oh, different CFD. Got you. Rana skipped. All right, let me make sure I got all my shares then. Yep, got him. Got him. Gotti. All right, I would leave that order out there for a little bit. Then Amazon could be a cancel as well, but we'll leave it there for now. Let me see another candle or two. On that one, the market does look strong. And again, Amazon did have some positive news right around this zone, though. I mean, again, even at market open, it looks a little trappish. We could adjust the order. I don't know if I want to. Not yet. Let's give it some time. Alex, what are you using? Apex? Surge? Pepperstone. I'm not familiar with those guys. Adam says stopped out of DraftKings. Let's see what DraftKings is doing now. PayPal is kind of selling off. Let's see. Let's take PayPal off the list. DKNG. You probably got the trap stop. We'll see. See if that continues. Meta's a monster. What are we targeting again? 188.63, I think. Meta. Oh, we could definitely increase us. Oh man, we could definitely increase our trade a little on Amazon. We could probably go with like 140.75 if we want to. Come on, Apple, get up there a little bit more. Yeah, Meta's going crazy. Still like this Amazon. If we get this dip, I kind of want to take it higher though. I'm going to cancel Amazon for me. And I'm going to look for a different setup. Maybe. All right. Let's go cancel that in Slack. Cancel AMZN for now. The other setup that I would be interested in trying, because we are making lower highs, but we're also making higher lows. So it looks like we might just pennant pattern, kind of like what you said on what Google did, maybe. It's got potential. AMD is looking a little bit to the bullish side. Let me see if oh nice. I'm out of my I sold a put end of day, was it 2 days ago, I think. So captured 50%. So that took it. Let's see. Airbnb is doing pretty good, 1.4. Again, AMD's up 3%. AMD's been after that little bear day. You got Baba, which has been all over the place. The Hong Kong markets were down fairly decent, but Baba's still hanging in there in the positives. You got Bank C still struggling. You got Disney up a little bit. DraftKings. Again, really nice day. Not as high as it was pre-market. We were up like 12%. Now you got 11.5. It's okay. Cancel Apple if you're still no, not yet, because this is your first pullback. If you get skipped on this pullback and it starts to double top or something like that, then I would cancel. But most hammers in the market will come back for some kind of retest. And again, I don't even know if this one still holds or not, or there's obviously some kind of weakness a little bit on Apple, but you got the hammer, you got the bullish sentiment. That's why I'm keeping my stops down there for now. Otherwise, if I wanted to get aggressive, I'd probably throw stops at like 184.75. But if I lose the R, I lose the R. But most times this should be the candle. This is your first real pullback after the bullish sentiment kind of came in. And whether the bullish sentiment still holds from here or not, that's a whole different story. But this is the pullback that you'd want to see if you do get filled. So see if you get filled here, and then if it could rally out. If you get skipped on this pullback, then I would say it's probably a cancel. Let me know if you do get filled. What did we say? 185.67, right? So we got close to that on this one. 20-cent miss, at least so far. I think you do have the possibility to get filled, though. I think this can get down to 185.51, something like that. Tesla's pulling back. So again, Tesla is also retracing. Let's see. Bulls are just taking profits on DraftKings, maybe fade all the way to 32. Did that still come down? Looked like a little traffic there on that one candle. Yep, continuing downwards. So I think his name is Jason Robbins, the CEO. He put out a tweet that said, if you sold DraftKings, our entire mission, if you sold your shares of DraftKings, our entire mission is to make you regret your decision. And I'm like, that's some crazy talk. Good on you. Good on you though for CEO. Lori's in the house. What's up, Lori? Techno Pop says, is there a correlation between Apple and the SPY? Apple is such a big part of the SPY that Apple has the weight and the ability to push the SPY rest. So if Apple's suffering, a lot of times the SPY can as well. So yeah, Apple is just a big part of the SPY. So they tend to trade a little bit similar. I mean, again, SPY is still up even with Apple being down today. So we'll see. So it sounds like some of you guys got filled on AAPL. So hopefully this is the bounce and the retest. And hopefully we get that follow through on the bullish momentum side of things. Tesla could be interesting. Again, the only thing with Tesla, I don't like those moving averages above us on the daily. But besides that, it's not bad. And if we're going to get S curves, they should be coming in just about everywhere. They should be about here on Nvidia. It should be about here on Tesla. Doesn't have to be there on Amazon. It should be here somewhere on Apple. But the question is, are we just selling rallies or not? And that's what I don't know. That's what we're not completely bearish in the market, but we'll see. We'll see. We're not exactly bullish either. So we're definitely in a weird, like, are we rotating? Are the bulls still strong? Do they want to not buy anymore? And we're not going to know that until we have absolute confirmation. So trading could get tricky for a little bit. Net's trying to get a nice little rally going. So we'll see if Net wants to continue this pop. But starting to get some momentum. Will it be sold into is a good question, though. This would also be a very nice candle to short. Maybe I could look for a short here. This would be 71.22. 71.22. I think we go stop somewhere around 72, 71. And I'm only thinking that, I mean, this should look like a good rally. And if this candle starts to fade, then that was a bull trap, and we could probably try to take advantage. My personal day trade, NET, 71.22 by 72.71. I think most likely we don't get filled on this. But if we do, especially in the next one or two candles, especially in the next one candle, I wouldn't mind. Net, sell short. 201. Stop limit. 71.22. All right. Apple's starting to pivot a little bit. Again, I do have net open. I'm not really expecting to get filled on that. Just waiting candle or two and seeing. And then if we could get above this little bit of resistance on Apple, I think we should be good for that 1.2 target. And that also means that Apple was actually friendly to people, came back, retested, and did what it was supposed to. And this would also give us a nice little level. In fact, I might have to move these stops already. 180.42. I got to do it. I'm gonna wait for this candle to close. No, you know what? I'm gonna do it already. This candle got pretty high, and net looks like it's gonna be canceled. Cancel net for me. Did I not throw out a stop originally? Interesting. Also not even put a stop in there. All right, so stop. Like I said, I'm gonna have to take. I'm gonna go with 184.79. Just avoid any kind of maybe double top that could come in. It's kind of an aggressive stop. So 184.79. So worst case, we'll lose small. The question is, can this is so far what I want to see. This is so far what I want to see. This little S curve, but I can't ignore there is some resistance up there. I don't know if we have the ability to break it or not, but getting our stops up to under here. If we start breaking this candle, it's either going to be a quick trap wick, and then we just get hosed, which is why I don't like being aggressive. But at the same time, I really don't think I want that to break down. If that starts to break down, we have the ability to just kind of lose the full R. So play it how I see it. It is on weak earnings. We're just kind of looking for that little rally back, and whether we get it or not, I don't know. But this is also a bullish engulfing candle too. So realistically, if this thing is going to stay strong, right around here should be the retest. Any of those bulls that got in, there was a little increased volume, nothing too crazy. But yeah, I don't want to see those bulls just get trapped right there. All right, net just, whew, we took that in a. I mean, I didn't think I was going to get filled, but I didn't think it was going to be lightsabers on net. That's crazy. Amazon also starting to rally a little bit. Maybe Apple could get some love. We'll see. Spies also had a little bit of resistance as well. So again, I don't know if news just broke or something fundamentally on net, but that just went crazy. Luke says, Dan, what's the pink, purple, and yellow lines? Just VWAP and standard deviations. Yes, correct. So on this one is just purple is the VWAP, and those are just standard deviations. This is the only screen I don't have the 10 EMA on. Every other one, it's also in yellow, so it's confusing, I'm sure. But obviously the wider yellow is the deviation, the one closer is 10. Yeah, net had earnings last night, but I was like, that one could fade. That one had a little resistance. They also have a decent short float, which we've just witnessed the power of short float on that one. Strong breakout. So Apple not really doing too good. It's already dipping way past. And now it's either going to be we get stopped and it rallies, or probably most likely it just starts to fade lower. That is a lower high as well. And I'm probably taking a flip on the position if that candle breaks down. It's not a bad idea either. Tesla is coming down too. DraftKings giving a lot back on DraftKings. But we got chip and chair on Apple. Let's see if any of this wants to hold. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. All right, I am back. Nvidia is kind of coming into that little pre-market support. I think this is a wave 1, maybe 2, 3. So probably puts in a hammer here. I don't know if I believe it or not, though. But if you want to take a try, it's probably worth a good stab. We got AMD's kind of fading. AMD's also back at probably about I would say probably hit the 618. So again, it is a good bounce spot for AMD. Tesla, that's a full-on retracement on Tesla again, kind of in that pre-market support. It looks similar to Nvidia. Amazon is just chop city right now, so we'll see. And this candle will get our stops up a little bit in worst case. Providing it stays green, we could probably get it to 184.93. 0.93. I'll start typing it, but I'm not going to send it out in Slack yet. New stop 184.93. And I would assume that if this candle does start to break down and we get a close below this candle, probably taking at least thinking of a reverse is not a horrible plan. So I can't really move stops yet. I have to wait. Either just take the hit from where it is, or maybe we could get a green candle to close, something that we get up tight, stops up a little bit tighter. But for now, I can't do much. So beautiful looking hammer, looks good. Good retest. Bulls not quite there on the second time. This could also be a little bit of a pennant pattern, and maybe we are able to fly in a little bit. But right now, it looks like the two options for us. Oh, we got 3. We can still get saved here, and we could get the rally. Otherwise, it's either stop and look for reversal, or we could easily get trapped on this next little pop down and then rally from there. So we'll see what the market wants to give us. What are you in Apple? In Apple, we got 185.67 is our entry, and we got 183.20 was our original stop. We did boot the stop up to, I think we're at 180. Did I update? No, I didn't even put that in. 184.79 is the new stop. I'll put that in there. Yep, 184.79. I put it in the broker. I just didn't type it in Slack. All right, let's see if we could hang in there. Doesn't look good. This tells me the bulls kind of got a little bit weak, but I am noticing this little pennant pattern too. Which if I knew, which I'm not psychic yet, but if I knew we were going to fall into a pennant pattern, I'd probably still keep my stop down here where it was. Apple hit stop. Let's see. Did I get stopped out? Not for me. I'm still in. Are you on A cap, Nancy? I still have my stops at 184.79. And the SPY is coming down too. So again, that's not going to help with Apple. I never got into Amazon. No, I canceled that order. Yeah, original entry for me was I think it was under here somewhere. But as this thing started to pop up higher, I canceled. You have a put in Amazon? I would still hold it. I would still hold it. If we start to really rally past that 142, that's probably where I can't. Well, I'll just take the loss. And also, I'm not sure when your Amazon put expires. Did you take the one that expires today, the daily? If you took the daily and this thing starts to break those tweezers, you're looking phenomenal. So you got 814. What was that, 2 weeks? All right, so you're not going to get too much data. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, Amazon's doing nothing. If you have the daily in here and we do nothing but just chop in this field, that's going to kill a lot of this premium. But if it does break, you still look good. And then obviously if we start breaking out 142, you're going to get hosed and probably have to take the loss. But at least you don't have theta kicking in. If you have the dailies on today and it's doing this, you're already starting to lose a lot of that theta just because of you probably got it at high volatility in the morning. Nelson says, I'm glad I moved my stop on BE on MES. To break even on futures minis. Now I got filled on Tesla, Apple, whatever in the world I'm in. All right, stopped on Apple. So we're still back to, yeah, there's that Wiccan rally. Gross. Gross. I was kind of feeling we get that Wiccan rally. We'll see. Once 3 weeks over, do I still have access to your dashboard or does it get, no, yeah, you always have access to your dashboard. Yep, you can log in. Any of the videos that you've already watched, they'll still be at the progress spot that you last stopped watching. Any of the premium videos that if you do purchase, those are yours forever as well. So you still constantly have access to your dashboard. Good question though. What about DraftKings now? Not yet. I wouldn't do anything yet. Unless you're short, I would stay short. Just because again, anytime there's a lot of selling, there's going to be people like, okay, yeah, it was bullish out of the gate, or they like something bullish, or whatever the case might be. But there's now a lot of people that are trapped from that opening candle who just got really excited, really bullish. And even if we start to come up on that first pop, you can have those people just trying to lose less. So they'll happily exit the market at a loss, and that's going to help drive this price back down. So what I would, if instead of trying to catch a falling knife, I would see if something, when it's coming down, see if you can get a bounce and then just kind of hang out, stabilize a little bit, find some kind of support. I'd rather try it there than trying it because this could look like a lot. And then you still have all of this after, you start to feel a little good, and it just cranks one more time. So be patient on. This is not a bad candle on Apple if we want to go short. The market's pulling back. I don't even think we're really at the 50% retracement yet. Somewhere around 450, nice hold number. I would suspect somewhere there would be our bounce spot for the SPY. It's gonna make me a little hesitant. Maybe we could try this Amazon short though. I might want to join you, Nancy. We'll see. 140.47. Going to be better risk reward at this point. 142.05. 142.05. I'm going to try it. This is exactly what net looks like before it just took off to the moon. My personal day trade, AMZN, we got 140.47 by 142.05. See if we can battle back a little bit. Let's enter the world of chop. Oh man, Amazon even got me out before I wanted to. It got me out about 5 cents higher. I mean, it'll probably pay off and be better for me, but I could have survived that little rally. 184.47. $184. What am I talking about? 140.47. All right, I got my order out there. Net just, I don't know, what a pop and drop on that one. Yep, good wick. Should be a little trappish. Net is just wild today. If anybody's playing net, that is, I'm mortified, petrified, stupefied by you. Luke says, are there any signs you look for to help anticipate a V bottom recovery versus a stable bottom and slow move up? I mean, I'm 50% Irish, so I'm looking for like the luck of the Irish to really step in on that. Otherwise, no, there's nothing. V-shape bounces are very, very difficult to predict. They're not as common. Usually there's some kind of sentiment along the way where somebody wants to take profits and you get some kind of rotation. That's typically what happens. There's for sure such a real thing as V-shaped bottoms, but yeah, it's very hard to predict it. Usually if they're going to come, it's going to come off of either some type of a big support, like pretty obvious support, just doesn't break. A lot of order entries, or if there's some kind of news that comes out. So whether that individual company creates some kind of statement or has a new merger that just randomly drops or something like that. Did I get skipped on the Zon? So far I did. So far I got skipped on Zani. Let's see. Out of Tesla for 3 hours. You took that short on that little reversal. That's probably where you came in. You actually came in after that. I'm surprised. You played that almost as a 10 EMA. All right, I might be in on Amazon. And let's see if I got filled. Nope, still open, it says. They didn't take me either way. Ron took all the shares. Let me refresh this to make sure. Yeah, it's still open for me. Let me make sure I put this in correctly. 140.47. Yep, that's what I wanted. All right. Yeah, I'm not filled either way. Oh, yeah. That's why I put Apple. Stupid. I set the order up for Apple, not Amazon. Oh, I'm gonna be so mad if that one. AMZN. Up limit 140.47. I was like, I can't figure out why this thing would not fill me. All right, I got the order out there now. Mm, Go Irish. You Notre Dame fan? All right. Done for the day. Yep. You could crush a trade in 3 minutes. Now I'm filled on Amazon. So the market seems like it's tanking. Amazon's going to be chop. I'm going to try for a little bit of a bigger win. I think 137.31 is going to be my target. Fields on AMZN. 137.31 is target. And therefore, I'm also going to keep my stops up there as well. For a considerable amount of time, providing we just don't get Trapzolid, and we'll go from there. But we are in some heavy chop, and we'll see if we can get broken down. But I refuse until this thing actually breaks down past those what appears to be tweezer bottoms. I'm probably not moving that stop and just going to keep an R of risk out there. DraftKings, good looking hammer on DraftKings, still in that downtrend though, so give it a second. Spies coming into a little bit of a bounce spot. I thought we should have got some kind of a bounce closer to about 450. So that did not happen. Buy rejects pretty hard off that trend line. Yeah, absolutely. Ran like a brick into a wall, and which that analogy probably doesn't make any sense because I've never, number one, seen a brick run into a wall, and then two, most walls are made out of bricks. So like, why would he run into his own friends? That doesn't make sense. But it definitely hit some kind of a wall. Too much time on your hands. A little bit. All right, so now you do have a 3-bar reversal in DraftKings if you want to play it. So again, could we come a little bit lower as possible? Did we fill the full gap? We did not really fill the full gap. Probably got to bounce maybe off that 50% retracement. So you're in the zone. And I would be looking for maybe a red candle that comes in. You could attempt to take a break of this red candle, especially if this closes red. Be cautious. You do have that 10 EMA right there ahead of you. Plenty of room up to that VWAP. And again, 3-bar reversal on DraftKings. So it might be playable at this point. But I'd still want to take a break of a red candle. Adam is thinking 32.10. All right, you're trying to catch a pullback. All right. Every player's got their own style. Every player's got their own style. The beautiful thing with yours is if you do get filled and it is a bounce spot, you need less to happen to hit your R's. For me, I'm actually paying for a little bit of confirmation. Now you're seeing some kind of curve on Amazon. Trying to short the beast today. We'll see. Nice little double bottom on AMD as well. I don't think I would take this Tesla bounce yet. I don't think I would take this NVIDIA bounce yet. CTAS did not hold daily support. This stock is long-term uptrend, but with all the bearish divergence, could anticipate a neckline and right shoulder. Let me see it on Trading View. Give up, Amazon. Just give it up already. Cintas, they do the uniforms and stuff, right? Yeah, huge uptrend. they're probably seeing amazing earnings after COVID. I would imagine when people have to start going back to work after COVID. I imagine they had some kind of crazy numbers coming in. And all like you saw a lot of companies during COVID go up higher during like the stay at home plays, the Roku's, the Netflix, even Amazon, things like that. Uh, these ones probably actually had more of an effect after. I wonder how long that would last. But yeah, really nice uptrends. SYNA. You worked 13 years in sales for them. Well, if you're not there anymore, then they lost a key salesperson. That's an easy short. Yeah, nice little gap down. This one came up for the retest on SYNA, not expecting to come back up so strong. Yeah, that was a gap. That was a failed gap and go. This market so far in August, and I kind of did expect it, but there's a lot of chop, and there's also we're sitting at a very, very strange time on the just the progression of the market. I think there's people you could talk to that still are in the camp that recession is happening and we just absolutely crush lower. There's other people in this market that is just nothing but bullish and there's 0% chance of recession. And I think both sides of this market could look at this market going, yeah, we ran a lot really quick and probably need a pullback. Lori says, I have to learn all of this in Spanish. I'm the Spanish educator for real life trading. Ah, beautiful. Yeah, I tried to become the Spanish educator for real life trading, but then I realized just me ordering Taco Bell is not the same. It's not. So apparently there's no quesadillas in like they're like, so what's your extent of Spanish? I'm like, I don't know, 0-ish. Maybe like 0.5%, but a lot of them just the dirty words. Like I could cover a good conversation just with dirty words. That's it. So it's probably why it didn't go my way. Maybe they're still considering though. I don't know. Maybe when we have real life trading cooking, that's probably maybe might get considered. Let's start. Say quesadilla. No, you're spelling a quesadilla. It's not. It's quesadilla. And first of all, Lori, don't think that I'm not familiar with Spanish and the food culture. I do eat Taco Bell way too much. And I realize that, maybe in places that speak Spanish, they don't have as commonly nacho Dorito tacos. But I'm pretty sure that's definitely a Spanish food item. I'm pretty positive that has to be. Uh-huh. Yeah, I don't know who's in the back of Taco Bell, like that main kitchen creating all this food, but they got some creative people at Taco Bell. They're like, you could get your taco, but you could get Frito Lay's on top. You're like, that sounds weirdly amazing. Yeah, what culture is this from? Like, what do you mean culture? We are pretty much finding any leftover food and throwing it together, and people still buy it. They still buy it. Yeah, David says I'll be in Barcelona next month. Not gonna look hard for the Dorito tacos. You got to look very hard for them. There's a very nice local place in Barcelona that's also called Taco Bell, and they might have it there too. So you probably don't have to look too hard. Brooke says I love T-Bell. I know it's just hard to pass by a T-Bell sometimes. It's just I don't know what they do. I don't know who the culinary chefs are at Taco Bell, but you can't. You legit could not sit down. By the time I get off the mic today, if I sit down the rest of the day and think of new food items, I'm not going to come up with anything that Taco Bell is even close to. It's just like, nah, I don't know. Taco Bell. Yeah, but it's weird too because Taco Bell changes. I don't know if you got no. I don't know if you guys noticed, but Taco Bell changes. If you go during the day, no, it's not. It's not great at all. It's horrible. It's gross. But as soon as like 9 p.m. and after, Taco Bell just tastes better, and I can't figure out why. But yeah, just Taco Bell just tastes a lot better after 9. It's just maybe I think they keep the A team of cooks. They let them rest all day, and then like after 9 o'clock is better. There's one like 5 minutes away. Yeah, yeah. Well, it gets better throughout the night. Uh-huh. That's because I think they more of the horse meat has time to marinate or whatever kind of meat it is. I'm not sure. Maybe it's gym mats. I'm not sure. But whatever type of meat they're trying to pass off as meat, it just has more time to marinate in the previous meat that they've cooked. So, you know, the Cinnabon ball. Yeah, that's a very man. If you don't know Cinnabon balls are like, do you know Spanish culture at all? That and those the cinnamon twists. I'm not a fan of it, but I think it's more acquired taste. But that is definitely a Spanish food for sure. The cinnamon twist. They've been pushing that thing since since early '90s, and you're like, wow, I just never realized cinnamon twist is such a Spanish food. It's crazy. Cinnamon balls are amazing. Amazon now. I'm in Amazon. I'm in Amazon. Yeah, I'm sitting there right now. I'm down on it. It's just choppy. Again, the bulls kind of came in, but there's all sorts of resistance. We got rejected hard up here. Um, again, we got positive catalyst, but this is technically a retest gap, and I'm playing it for that reason. Anytime we've gotten up here, we have got smacked down hard, so I'm leaving my stops where they're at. But yeah, man. Tina says after 2 a.m. for sure. Yeah, and then they got like the hot sauce that you just eat, like they got is like mild, medium, hot, and then Diablo. You're like, phew. I don't know if I want to dance with the devil tonight. I just wanted a little taco, but give me a couple extra Diablos. Let's get this party started. Mm-hmm. If you're ever in Texas and want great Mexican fast food, Taco Cabana. Cabana? Did I say that right? Lori's gonna be like, nah, that's way off. Taco Cabana? Is it the taco? Yeah, I'm going to the Taco Cabana. It's a cabana and they just got tacos. Del Taco. I feel like I've been to a Del Taco. I feel like I've been there. Chipotle, I kind of like Chipotle too. Not gonna lie. I know you real food experts are probably gonna be like, yeah, but it's not real still. I'm like, that's close. It's close. The Copacabana. Little Barry Manilow reference. I didn't think we were gonna go there today, but we did. We made it. DraftKings keeps rolling over the 10 EMA. Yeah, it's still a little weak still. I mean, again, this is just a lot of profit taking after a big run up that DraftKings had. So that's why I just little extra patience, I think, on DraftKings could go a long way. Stop talking about tacos. I'm hungry. It's not even 7:30. Don't worry. Don't worry. About to blow your mind. About to blow your mind. Taco Bell has a breakfast menu. I mean, if you're telling me you're not learning anything during free week, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, they put just it's the same exact thing that you could get at 9 o'clock, except just they replace the horse meat with the eggs, I think. So they only have one size coffee though. That's confusing. They only have the one size coffee. And I'm like, okay, if that's your decision, that's what you want to go with the coffee route, that's fine. But anytime I try to order a different size besides just saying coffee, I'm like, yeah, can I get the large coffee? Then they look at me weird and like, don't we have a little stare off? It's a thing. It's a thing. Like, sir, this is Taco Bell. We got one size. And I'm like, all right, give me 3 of them. Just give me 3 of those. Barry Manilow. Yeah. Copacabana. Her name was Lola. To leave the screens. Mike just lost power. Is it storming by you? It's cloudy by me, but no storm. Yeah, California's got some good Mexican food. California does have some good Mexican food. That's for sure. Yeah, you gotta find like you want the real food. You gotta go to like the very local place, and then you're like, wow, this is. And then, but then it ruins the Taco Bell experience. So I don't know. Tesla giving you 10 multiple 10 EMAs is giving you a bunch. So the problem with Tesla, though, for me, is we're back into yesterday's day. This would qualify as a 10 EMA. We did break out of the high of yesterday, so this would qualify. And there's a lot of selling in a row. And then targets for me is where my issue comes in. 255.79 is where I would have my target. So if I was to take this one as with the official setup, my entry would have to be 257.66. So 257.66. And then the last candle that really crosses is technically up here. 262.93. I'd have to get to 247.12 for 2 hours. And if let's say I'm going for that 1.2, that's 251.33. 251.33 takes me and if it's gonna hit that, you might as well go for more. You're below yesterday's opening range, you're below yesterday's entire candle. So if you want to get a little risque, you're probably going to stop maybe 259, maybe 260, and hope you get a quick flush. But that's not technically the last candle that interacted. I guess it could be. What if we did 260? How would that look? 260, 1.2, 254.85. That's still below where I think it could get to. Doesn't mean that's where it has to stop. It's got potential to get there. It's got a couple things in the way. Amazon is not acting right. Amazon's out of its mind. Just is doing its own thing. PayPal, and then Apple's very, very flat today as well. PYPL. PayPal, I feel like would have some bearish sentiment to it. Yeah, we gapped down pretty hard yesterday. Didn't really come up for any retests. Are we at any key supports? I could see it coming down to about 62.93. So this could be your first little maybe bounce. Somewhere in this zone, if not a little bit lower. It is building a little bit of that kind of sideways chop, so might be worth an attempt. And this is a lot of selling in a row for the SPY. This is about the 50% of that first initial just panic drop. What time of day did that drop start? I don't think there was any news or anything that really triggered it. 950. I don't believe there was any news in 950. GS bumped their price target on Costco this morning. To the higher side or lower side? Her name was Lola. She traded stocks. Goldman Sachs adjust price target on Costco wholesale to 589 from 554. So a little bit of an upgrade, which right now you're starting to see some of the downgrades start to pile in. All right, let's see if there's a little reversal on Amazon. If I wasn't already in this thing, probably a better shot would be 141.21 by 142, same stop. So if your guys are not in it, this could be a decent reversal candle, but You're still taking it above the. I still like that stop placement a lot, which is why I haven't moved my stops. And if I get pulled out, I get pulled out. DraftKings starting to build some support at 31.60. Yep, watching that one. And again, I'm bullish on it. You're still up 6% on the day. It is a gap and go, but it is also after a decent run up. So I almost want to see some kind of volume come in, something like that on DraftKings. Give me like a crazy hammer. There was a little bit of volume on that last candle. And I would say that this is probably a rough spot to look for a short on net too, but net has been moving extraordinarily odd. Yeah, yeah, I would like to see bigger volume somewhere on DraftKings, like a good trap candle. Like anybody still holding is like, man, why am I still holding? And then they start to bail. I don't see that yet. AMD has been strong. Nice little bounce off the double bottom. This could be a little bit of a resistance, maybe a little bit higher. 116.04. We'll see. Nvidia looks like it's struggling to hold the 10. It does have the VWAP above it. So again, this could be a decent spot for a short on Nvidia if this thing does want to come lower. We did break pre-market support. 443.86 was the low of yesterday. Where did we get to today? 63. Hands in the zone. In the zone, auto zone. Tesla does still look weak again. It's just the risk reward, and the only way that really could make sense is roughly around a 260 stop if someone's going to take it. As you're talking about Mexican food, I got a text asking if I want to go out to a Mexican restaurant. I mean, that's manifesting, if anything. You just manifested that text. It's pretty wild. Jeffrey's going to take a stab at Tesla. And honestly, I mean, Tesla has the ability. It's been weak. It could break through some of those targets. For me, I'm like, I want some more room to run. Like even if I get stopped out of Amazon, at least it had a lot of room to run if it did break down. Same thing with Apple. Apple, I don't mind attempting that Apple trade, even though it didn't work out. We still only lost small, but to the higher side, we could have easily got that target. We were close. Another dollar on $1 trillion company. CNK long. Are you already in this one? You're trying to get in at 1780. Your entry would be right below that VWAP. That would be probably roughly either the 50 or 618 retracement. So that wouldn't be a bad spot to try it if you do like this thing long. Yeah, I couldn't get in here taking a breakout, and if it just runs, it runs. But I think you should be able to get that pullback. Watch out for the volume. Volume's very low. Spread's not bad, but volume's low. Oh, if you're already in, you're good. Yeah. Then you should be able to move your, I don't know where your original stops were, maybe somewhere 1748, 1749. I would probably have those at least to 1757. If this realistically, where's the volume candle? This one right here. I wouldn't really want to see this candle get taken out at this point. So my stops would be very, very close to break even. There you go. Yep, move your stops. So you're in the green already. Do you trade the same 13 stocks from Tony's 78 Momo video? Or do you focus on your own list? No, I have my own list. Um, did Tony do a Momo video? I thought that was Matt DeLong was doing the Momo video. All right, Amazon gaining some strength, most likely, unless we get saved by the grace of the market. We're probably going to get stopped on the Zon, so I'm preparing for that already. But that got some weird strength in it. The buying was not done yet. Yeah, from Matt's video. Matt trades. I don't really trade the Momo too much. So therefore, for me, it doesn't make too much sense to really look at it as much. I will reference the Momo. I'll look at it, but it's just not my trade style. It's just different. Yeah, but yeah, I have the and I think you'll find this too. You'll have your own stocks that you kind of watch. He's got those 13 stocks, not because the Momo doesn't work elsewhere, but because he's back tested those, like he's run back test on it. He's seeing success rates from using the Momo on those. So therefore, if they work before, he's got them on the list. He's trying to run it up again. So those are the ones that he just back tested. So I think that would be a pretty safe list to continue to watch and look at if you are playing the Momo. And again, I'll do swing trades, and then I'll do a lot of day trades, and then I do a lot of long-term investing. And then on occasion I'll do some like pyramid builds and stuff like that. But there's only so much I think you could do. You know, like you can't take everybody's style of trading and just do everything with it, because then you just overextend yourself. Where's my stop on this one? 182.05. It's not taking me out yet. What I just heard is Dan built the pyramids. That is factual. It took a lot of work, honestly, so I don't like to talk about it too much. But like at first, it was a cool idea. I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to build this big pyramid in the middle of a desert. And then I realized maybe I should have started number one in a cooler place, because building pyramids in the desert got kind of hot and sweaty out there, to be honest. But and then you're like, what if people don't like the shape of pyramids? And then it's stuck there now. So, you know, I don't like to drive that much attention to myself. But yeah, I did build all the pyramids, but single-handedly. It was intense. Seemed like a good idea at the time. All right, so far I'm being kept in there by roughly about 5 pennies on Amazon. And again, this is the zone. That was a good breakout candle. It looks almost like a 3-bar play. Wes, does it hit you out? Do you have a different R set for swing trades versus day trades? At this point, I don't, but I did before. Yep. Yeah, so at this point, it just depends on your account size. What I would recommend is having a different. Was the lifting of the chisel the worst? The chisel took more patience and focus. The lifting is like I lift things up, I'll put them down type situation. What I would recommend is that you have different accounts for your swing trades and your day trades, for a lot of reasons. Like you don't want to use margin. Like if you're using all your margins, let's say there's like 5 good swing trades that you're in, that could eat up a lot of your margin, and then you really can't day trade. Right? Because then you're like, well, now my size has to be smaller on my day trade, and then you know the market does crazy things. Your day trades would have been paying out. Your swings were a disaster, and you're sitting there for 2 weeks on trades. You can't really do much. Right? So that's one. Two is, I mean, the market's going to move around like minute by minute. It's going to be up, down, up, down. You're going to be so much more tempted to pull out your swing trade that could be eventually working, but you're like, man, this is about to pull back. Let me just sell my swing. And that temptation to do so will be imminent. It'll be like right there in your face. So be careful on that for sure. So definitely have two. And then basically what I would do is if you do have the two accounts, which again, I do strongly recommend that everybody has two accounts for it. Have your R size based off of your account size, right? So if your swing trade is larger than your day trade account, then you're probably going to have a larger R for your swing, which could make sense because you're sitting in that. Now I got to stop that. You're sitting in that trade for a lot longer over time, right? You're going to sit there for could be a week, could be a day. I've had it happen before. You could be in it for 2 weeks. So how do you value your money? Do you want to cycle through your money quicker to try to stack gains quicker, or is just taking the trade setup and building an account slowly more important to you? So you have to figure that out. And if your day trade account's bigger than your swing, then obviously you probably your day trade is your primary account, and then I'd be passing gains from the day trades into like a percentage into the swing trade account to help grow it. I always wondered how to swing and day trade from the same account. Yeah, you could do it in the same account. I wouldn't. I've done it, but I've done everything before. I would never do that again. But everybody starts somewhere, so. CJ says, great answer. I needed that. That's probably about the pyramids. That was probably not related to the multiple accounts. It's probably the chisel or the building. Amazon about to explode higher. It looks like, yeah. Again, this could be trap and break, but there is bullish sentiment. I was hoping for a little bit more of a pullback than that. That didn't happen. And again, you do have the SPY, which this has been a crazy month so far. I mean, we got some bullishness, nothing but bearishness. We talked about that V shape. How do you tell? You can't. There's your hammer if you want to just take a stab at it. But I think 7 out of 10 times, 8 out of 10 times, you're not going to get that V shape. And you probably, if you're taking every hammer in a longer term picture, you're going to probably be losing more than making. So trade with a purpose. This week, this market for so far August, this has been one of the choppier markets I've seen. The last 2-3 months were crazy. Just like I think a lot more things were just trending. You got good follow through. You get that extra push where you need it. Not in this market. This one is a slow down market. And what I'll tell people too is when the market moves fast, just move slow. When the market moves slow, that's when you move fast. If the market's going absolutely crazy and wild, slow down, take less trades, start getting off the 3, start moving to the 5-minute chart, take a look at the 15-minute chart. Just be okay going a lot slower. And then where the market just kind of slowly pushes, you get the one direction, you get the natural pullbacks and the good follow throughs, then you're just moving slow, stop slower, or move faster to take those plays and just carry it home. But tough. As a beginning trader, day trading and swing trading from the same account is easier since your R is usually low relative to your account size. I still do both from the same account. Yeah, anything's possible, and to each their own. I have if you have, we talked about it on the Pivot podcast yesterday about discipline. I'm guessing Lucian has he's there's actually no shot that he doesn't have less discipline than I like I have zero. As soon as I see like anything going on, I'm like, I just want to react off of what I'm seeing. But that's me. Where if I'm like, and I think it also does affect your kind of morning sentiment. Where like if you are in swing trades and the market's gapping down and you wake up and all you see is red in your account, how do you think that sets you up for day trades? I mean, Again, everyone's different, but no. Fubo. So thoughts on Fubo for good earnings report overnight for day trade. Well, you're gonna be keeping it AK for over the weekend. So I don't know what comes out over the weekend. It does look like it's uptrending a little bit. I used Fubo one time in my life, and I didn't mind it. I don't agree with the pricing. I was in there for the free trial for free week, and then I canceled. I was like I understand people want to cut their cable cords and all that stuff, but and this would be a fantastic solution to do it because you get live streaming TV, live sports. I did it for the sports because I was had to stream it somewhere, but and it wasn't home. But their price I think is crazy. Their price is equal to more than just keeping your cords all plugged in. So I don't like the business model on it. For day trade or swing trade, the problem with this one to me is it is up a lot. I could only imagine that this thing has a good short float on it. Finviz, Fubo. 16% short float. So there's your play. As a company, I don't like them. As a short float, try to buy this thing as low as possible. And you're hoping that short float could eventually kick in and you start trapping some of the bulls. So I expect some volatility. Expect a lot of volatility. I wouldn't take a breakout on this one. I would only take pullbacks closer to 311 right now that you could get to is probably your better shot. And realistically, if you get closer to about $2.90, that's going to give you your best opportunity to get in there with as little risk as possible. DJ told me that during his greatest mentorship, changed my attitude during day trading. Yeah, about like the multiple accounts. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you wake up angry every day, and not every day, I don't want to paint the picture that Rock is just a pure angry guy. You can't be because you get a haircut every day. So I mean, you feel good. Rock feels good every day. He wakes up and actually he's like Cinderella. She like wakes up, she opens the window, she like sings with birds and stuff. That's pretty much Rock's morning. That's Rock's morning every day. So he's probably one of the happiest guys I know. But if you could be as happy as you want, and as soon as you see like your accounts are all red because the overall market's down, and you're gonna have some kind of, you're gonna feel a certain kind of way. You're gonna feel like I got to make this money back. I want my account at least break even at the end of the day. If I could go break even and everything else that I already own and the other trades are down, oh man, that'd be a win. You don't even care about making money. You just like, I just don't want to lose money. Right. And now you start getting a little bit more aggressive on your entries. You start over trading. You want to be in the right headspace when trading. I mean, I already took 2 trades. I think they were great setups on both of them. Apple, we were looking good for a second. And then we could not get the follow through. It was doing everything that I wanted and just died and essentially fell flat. So small loss on that. And then Amazon looks good. I mean, there's a lot of room to the downside. And this one, bulls just too strong. So I would think right now I have a pretty clear head in the market. I would take those setups 2 months ago, the last 2 months. I think both those setups were huge winners. Just not today. Right now, if I wake up and I'm already kind of frustrated, angry, even if you get a fight with somebody in the family, your neighbor, whatever case, you think you're really in the same sense that every time you back trade when you were in like a peaceful spot, peaceful mindset, you were trading and you were able to be like, oh, cool, this setup works. You think that same attitude is going to be in the market for you that day? No, probably not. So you probably have to walk away, take a breath, get some herbal teas. By herbal teas, I mean, obviously just the flavor. Maybe what's it called? Chai tea, something like that. I don't know what a chai tea is. I guess that would be like, it's like the tea, but it's kind of like, you don't want to really talk to you, don't draw attention to it kind of tea. That would be it. It's a mate tea. I don't know. I don't know what mate tea is. I have no idea. David says, I have 2 toddlers. David says, I have 2 toddlers, so I'm always angry. I know the feeling. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know the feeling. But, you'll get past it. You'll get past it. I think I handled the pressure of $2 pretty well because I mean, at first they didn't like the cages that I put them in, but then eventually like they got used to it. I'll throw them like bread every now and then, but here you go, and then I soundproofed it too, so it was fine. It was okay, but how you deal with the stress is up to you. But just I mean, make sure that you're in the right mindset for that. Shy tea never never lets me drink it. And no, I never experienced a nice sip of a shy tea. Maybe one day. I've also don't think I've ever had a really good pickle, to be honest, while we're on the topic. Like I've had a good pickle, but a really good pickle? I don't know. I don't think so. It goes to the other side of the cup somehow. It runs from you. That's like the 90s fade haircut where it looked like the hair was running away from your face all the time. Surprised that trend didn't stick around. Dylan says hi. What's up, Dylan? How old is Dylan? That's is that one of your kids? 7? What's up, Dylan? I'm so excited Dylan's here. Dylan, is Dylan learning to trade? Is he getting a nice early start? I got to get my kids to start learning the stock market. They every now and then they'll have some interest in what I'm doing. But like the whole concept of like candles, so I tell them like if I'm bullish, I'm like, yeah, I want this candle to go green. And they're like, but why? I'm like, well, that's a good question. Because then I'll make more money. And like they're like, why do you need money? And I'm going down a big road. It's a tough conversation to have. So the way I explain it, and maybe Dylan, this is good for you too. I just say, well, if this candle goes green and we continue going green on candles, that means we're going to probably get some ice cream later. And then they start like cheering me on, like, go green candles. But they take the red candles a little harder in those situations. So it's a little different. Explain SPY, please. In what sense? Like what it's doing right now or what it is in general? So right now we're right back to that opening price. So I've noticed this for myself a lot. When Johnny comes on after me, I like to clean up the markets, give him a fresh start. So managed to get this market all the way back to essentially right where we opened, giving us another choppy little day right now. And man, I cannot wait till these markets open up and give us some kind of directions again. But for right now, it's just hanging out. But what the SPY is, it's essentially an ETF that is supposed to. So if you're looking at the Dow, right? How much time do I got left? Good 11 minutes. So the Dow in general, right? When people go, oh, the Dow Jones today is up 700 points. This is taking, and there's like different components of the Dow and all that stuff too. But essentially, this is unweighted, right? So if you have Apple, which is a $3 trillion company, 3 trillion, and then you have Fubo, which probably should be bankrupt. But let's say they're worth $100, right? The total company might be worth 100. Like they could sell their staplers, I think. And let's say they're both in the Dow. And this Fubo moves $1 and this moves $1, right? So they're taking all the stocks comparatively and they're saying, and then averaging, and they're saying, okay, the Dow is up XYZ, right? So this is going to be a lot of false everything when you just look at the overall market because it's not weighted. Essentially what the SPY, the Qs, what all those guys are doing is they're taking, they have the companies that would be qualified to fit into their criteria, and then they weight them all. So they're taking basically what the market share is of the companies, they're averaging it out, and then that's how you get your moves on the SPY. So the SPY and the Qs are going to give you a little bit more accurate look for what the actual market is doing, as opposed to like the Dow in general. So anytime you hear that, like I couldn't even tell you right now what the Dow's at. I've stopped looking at that for years ago. Put a smile on his face. He does Roblox research for me. He's getting the Robux. Man, I wish I was 7. My entire life would revolve around Robux currencies. I love it. I love it. So my question to you, Brian, is now: do you own some Roblox stock? Like, do you calculate how much time that he's on playing, that Dylan is sitting there playing Roblox, and you're like, you know what? Dylan, does your friends play Roblox as much as you? I think I might buy some Roblox stock. So this was not a retest gap today. Let's pull up the daily real quick. Let's put it on TradingView. What is this one? This is somebody else's charts. This one's TradingView. All right, TradingView. So let's get the SPY up, SPY. This is technically, it would be a gap and go. Technically speaking. But it's a fake gap and go. What I would consider a fake. If you're just looking at this candle right here, this candle only, and where we opened today, which is right there. Technically, we were green here. Oh, I'm sorry, this would be a retest. That we were green here, and then we do gap up. So this would be a retest. Now, what I think is a little bit fake on this one, and which is why I'm like, I don't know. Even though this candle closes green, what kind of candle is this one? This one is actually a gap and go. Oh, I'm sorry. No, my whole day. What? Johnny comes in soon. Johnny comes in soon. I didn't take my medication. This one is a retest gap, right? So this one is bearish. We gap down, we come back, we retested, right? So it looks good. But even though this one is a green candle, what do you think sentiment of this day is? Maybe hopeful at the end, maybe at best, but there's still probably more counts down than not. You still closed lower than the day before, right? So now that's going to make this one a little bit trickier, because even though this is a retest gap, which it looks like we retested, right? Your sentiment probably is still not great from this day, right? You're still kind of living inside, okay, now this is my next candle. If this candle up here starts to break, great. Otherwise, you could almost draw some kind of a fib on this one and find out where resistance will come in today. So let's do that real quick. This is, I think the high of this, I'm not sure the high of this candle is somewhere about here. Somewhere about there. Bottom of this candle is here. So technically we had 2 days of, I'll make this wider. We had 2 days of kind of bearish sentiment after a pretty nasty gap that we had in the market. Again, we were watching this candle for a long time. We were like, if this thing closes lower, I don't know. So right now, guess where we're at? We're right at that 618 retracement. So could the sentiment still be bearish, really coming in from this gap down, this close, and are we just really going to hang out here for most of the day at this 618? Maybe we get a close up there. We already tried to break through. We smacked right back down. But this is, if you are bearish, you're probably watching this as your retracement. So meaning that you're not really sure. You don't want to put puts on the table here because that candle's not closed yet. Well, you don't want to chase it, so you don't want to put your puts on the table there. I could only imagine there's probably a bunch of people saying, cool, if this thing comes back, retests, we look like we have a little S curve. This would be the spot you're kind of looking for those puts. Right? So somewhere in this zone would be a decent spot for the bears to step it up and see if they can come in. Back to home for you. Look at those green candles on Diz. Yep, Disney's starting to pop a little bit. There you go. There's another retest. And again, we can kind of do the same thing. The question is, do we want to start this one here or up here? This gap didn't really change too much sentiment because you're inside there. SPY's a little different. That gap actually changed sentiment a little bit. I would probably have to go here on Disney and probably looking for that. So if this is the case, we could still see with bearish momentum, we can still see a rally into 87.63 and then maybe 88.11, somewhere in that zone. So until we start really breaking and closing this 88.11, I wouldn't necessarily be so bull. I'm bullish, by the way. I'm bullish on Disney, but I'm looking at a longer term prospect. So I was buying some shares yesterday. I think on this day, I also bought a couple shares, and then I also sold some puts. So on this day, I sold some puts, bought some shares. I was getting a better price point here, so I was able to buy some more shares after this kind of run down. So now I'm sitting on it, but I have longer term outs. Like I don't really care. If it comes down lower, that's where I DCA, dollar cost average, right? All the way probably into maybe the 50s if it could get there. But the lower this thing goes, the more I'll start to like Disney even more. I think appropriately priced, they're probably around $75, $80. I think would be a decent price for them. So 75 to 80. The puts that I sold were $79 puts. And we'll see how they want to close. But yeah, I'm perfectly okay with getting filled on more shares on the way down. I have no problem with that. The only reason I'm going aggressive with this one, where I'm starting to get in closer to the 85, $86 range, is just because I think Disney does have a little bit of a moat. So I think Disney's business model itself is a very difficult one to emulate, where I don't even know the value of, I think it's $3 billion is the value of Disney, something like that. Where I think if you give somebody else $3 billion and say, go create your own Disney, I think it's very tough to do. Right. I think they've already got so much content. They've already got so much fan base, the merchandise, everything's already in place, where I'm willing to pay a little higher than I think this company is probably actually should be worth on a fair value. And I still think I can make a really good return if I'm getting in here with the ability to dollar cost average in lower. So again, even though we're running a little bit bullish today on Disney, I don't think the overall outlook short term is still great yet. But this is the time when nobody else wants it. That's the time where I want to get in, right? I've said that before, where if you're looking at things in a long-term perspective, you're probably one of the most hated analysts that you could possibly ever be out there, because everybody else is saying Disney's the worst company ever right now. They're not going to ever balance. Bob Iger doesn't know what he's doing. The whole entire Hollywood's on strike. Why would you buy it? They're apparently they're too expensive. Nothing's working out for them. And I say, I think in 10 years, within the next 10 years, all the problems that Disney has will probably be long forgotten and nobody will ever know. And then this thing's up at 120, 130, 140, 150. And that's when everyone's like, Disney's the best company. Yeah, we should be buying Disney. And I'm like, no, pump the brakes, pump it a little bit. So when things were shooting higher, that's when everyone's excited for it. That's when everyone's like, yeah, I'm going to keep getting in. And I'm like, no, just that's probably not the time. You're probably overpaying. And then when things are too low on stocks, that's when everyone's like, the company's garbage. They're not going to do anything. And I'm like, it's still Disney. At the end of the day, it's still Disney. So we'll see. But yep, nice little pump on Disney today. We're just again trying to rally back. Do I think we're going bullish yet? Probably not short term until we get, I would say, a little bit higher. Lucian says, I'm in your camp, DJ. Nice. Did you sell any puts on Diz? I did sell some puts on AMD on that big drop too, like toward the very end of the day. I thought it was going to stop somewhere around like 110. It just kept going down to like 107. I was like, okay, now it's. So I sold a $100 put. That one I took for 0.5% gain. I still have some more for $95 strike price as well. Sounds like Apple. Yeah. Apple's another one. And I'm already in Apple, right? But let me go back to that trading view chart. Rock will probably never forget this day. But AAPL, I just went crazy. I just went insane. But like as Apple's up at these 170 levels, even at 170, could you have made money? Yeah, of course. If you're trading it, right? If you're getting out, that's fine. That makes sense. But do I want to really initiate my long-term investment at 170? Probably not. We've already run from 124 to 170 at that point. I'm not going to buy Apple shares. I'll just sit back, collect the drip, collect the dividends, and I'm going for the ride. If it comes back, I'll buy more, right? But down here, this is somewhere around this 120 zone. I forget where it was, maybe over here, but somewhere around this, it was 120ish. I was like, legitimately, like, if people are not buying Disney, they're out of their minds. They're out of their minds. Apple's not going anywhere. Where's Apple going to go from there? Could have gone to like $70, $80. Absolutely. And I'm fine sitting there, dollar cost averaging through, because if I'm buying at 120, I think somewhere in the next 10 years, Apple's going to be a higher price. Right. And I'm just trying to sit there, build wealth, find good companies and just buy the dips. Right. So just trying to get in on good companies. And right there, I don't even know what the news was that drove this thing down to some of these prices. I don't know if it was the overall market, but again, it's 120 and everyone's like, I'll wait for 70. And like, you can wait for 70, but I'll start my buying now. I'm okay with it. So we'll see. But we got Johnny G, I believe comes in now, unless I don't
right
know,
now.
12. Johnny G.
How
What's
you
up,
doing, buddy? What is going on?
What's happening? Man, I want this market to start trending a little bit better. Right now, I'm just getting not hosed. I took Apple out of the gate, so Apple was decent for a minute. We were good. It even came back. Let me show you this Apple chart real quick. In absolute, every single, it is a retest gap. Tried to play for the retest. Tried to play for the little bit of a fade higher. They gave me this hammer with opening volume here. Yeah, I'm like, okay, good. We got filled. Some people didn't. I'm like, okay, retest should come in here. You get filled. We got filled in there. Look good. We get a stops up to here, and then we got stopped out. So lost very, very small on Apples. Again, it's not that great, but anytime during the last 2 months, this is a perfect looking setup. This one just carries home, and it just, we're fighting this weird like trend of people just a little bit more cautious to buy things. So
yeah. What was the volume on that hammer, that Apple hammer?
What's that?
What was the volume on that Apple hammer?
Volume looks like 5 million.
5 mil.
It's pretty good
Wow.
volume.
Yeah.
And I still don't know if this trade will not work, but I'm stopped out for now. So I think it's got the ability to rally home. And we were looking at the SPY. We're kind of in a little bit of a retest spot, 618 from the initial gap down. So we could be at a little resistance. We tried Amazon, trying to fade that one lower. Bulls did show up to that. I guess they all left Apple, went to Amazon, but yeah, so I got stopped out of that one. So not great yet. Still lots and lots of time left to open for the market. So I'll be looking for something else. But these markets right now, they're not trending very well. We're in a very weird chop zone where people are trying to reposition themselves and trying to figure out if we go a lot lower or a lot higher from here.
Is it still summer vacation on the mainland?
Yeah, till Labor Day, I think. So yeah.
Oh wow.
August, all of August, I expect to be a little
okay.
chop fest. So
Lots
I'm
of people
fully
still...
expecting August to be a straight battle month, and then September I think starts to get a little bit better, and then by October I think we're full force again. So
yeah,
just from trading for years and years, I know August is a little rough.
Yeah, my kid's already back in school.
No, yeah, you telling me. That's crazy.
We do it early here in Hawaii.
You know, why delay the process?
What was I going to ask you? Oh, you got anything this afternoon?
No, I was actually just covering for Stephen King. I know he had some computer issues, or they were trying to just kind of work on. So I was just kind of filling in for Stephen today. But yeah, I think he should be good to go for the afternoon. Otherwise, yeah, I think I'm out for the week.
Yeah, I'll be fine for later today.
Okay. Yep. Everything's back and running.
So far, so good. It didn't crash at all. While I've been basically hanging out with you most of the time you've been on, and it's been okay. It's been stable.
Beautiful.
So I think I'm good.
Awesome. Hey, are you still in Canada?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
All right.
What you teaching later, Stephen?
Going to be doing analyzing price action and volume. It's
awesome.
something I've been doing the last couple of weeks, and I know a lot of the members have really enjoyed, looking at that, just trying to understand the sentiment of the candles, the price action, and volume.
Everybody just really appreciates and enjoys you. That's what it is.
I can't disagree with that. Can't.
Yeah. He's the master.
Please. I'm a couple of rungs below the two of you. So
Sheesh.
I'm climbing. I'm doing my best.
I'm trying to catch you, bruh.
Lori, yes, I will definitely record that session this afternoon. She's asking me to record it.
Sounds good. Love that Zoom handle by Lori. Real L'Oreal. She is definitely in the right place at Real Life Trading. All right. Sounds good. Danny.
I
You
will.
still there?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going anywhere.
All right.
Don't worry about that. I'll be here. But yeah, let me make you hosts.
All
I'll
right.
let you grab the screen, and then I'll be here for Stephen King as well later today. I'm not gonna miss that for sure.
All right. Sounds good.
All
If
right.
I don't talk to you, have a great weekend, man. You working or are you taking off or what are you doing?
No, I got a few events I'll be at. So
All
I'll
right.
be in and out.
Take it low and slow.
Yes, sir.
All right,
For
buddy.
everybody,
Have a great weekend.
that is joining us for the free week. I said this yesterday as well. I hope to see most, if not all of you next week. I would love to see you guys hanging out in the real life trading community, just getting to know the other traders, the other moderators, and really just helping to develop and grow as a trader to really try to look to enrich your lives and then the lives of everybody that could get impacted by you trading. So it was an absolute pleasure for me to be here and the honor to be here with you guys. But I hope to see all of you guys next week. And Johnny, you can take it away, do your thing.